When we first pick up a camera to start our photography journey, the feeling when we press that shutter button and examine the images we captured is so exciting and rewarding. We're getting a taste of that sweet satisfaction that comes with undertaking any new creative venture. But, as with everything, that feeling will eventually pass and be replaced with new ones. Maybe feelings of frustration when we aren't able to create the images we see in our mind, or feelings of inadequacy when we compare our work to the works of those we look up to. I'm going to share with you the 5 things I wish I knew in my first few years of photography that I think would have benefited me the most. These may seem like such simple bits of advice, but they aren't things that I learned until years into practicing photography. Now, some of these you may have heard before and some you may have not, but I'm going to do my best to elaborate on why I think each of these is so important to know. And I'm going to save what I think is the #1 most important piece of advice that not only photographers, but anybody undertaking any kind of journey of self-improvement or learning a new skill needs to keep in mind. So be sure to stick around to the end of the video to catch that. Anyways, let's get started. #1, quantity over quality when finding your style. When I was first starting out, I had these concepts in my mind that I really wanted to create. I would spend so much time planning to set up these specific shoots, and when I wasn't able to bring the idea to life to the level of my expectations, I was disheartened. And when I did pull off my vision, I was quickly focused on my next shoot needing to be better than this one. When we raise the bar, it's so easy to feel like we need to perform at that level or better the next time around. But that's not how this works. Progress isn't a straight line, it's ups and downs. And all of this obsessing over getting the perfect shot or raising the bar every time just resulted in me shooting less and spending less time practicing with the camera. When you're spending so much time trying to come up with perfect ideas or concepts, coordinating with models and makeup artists, trying to narrow down locations, that's a lot of time that you're not spending just shooting. And while these bigger concepts can be really fun and really exciting, and we feel like this is where a lot of our growth happens, and it does, just spending time going out and consistently shooting with your camera is how you're going to experience growth the fastest. I heard something that really resonated with me. 70% of what you create will be garbage, 20% will be pretty good, and 10% will be truly great. You need to learn to be okay with the fact that sometimes you'll create something that you're truly very proud of, that you think is great, and then after that you might create some subpar stuff for a while. And when you are creating something that doesn't feel like it's up to your new standard, it's easy to fall into this feeling that you're getting worse or that you aren't progressing. But I promise it's part of the process. Not only does shooting a lot help you develop your skills, but it shows you what style of photography you're naturally drawn to. Which brings me to my next tip. Specialize. Don't try to do everything. When we first pick up a camera, most of us, myself included, shoot absolutely anything and everything. Landscapes, still life, portraiture, lifestyle, nature, cars, products, the list goes on. We have this exciting new instrument we can use to capture everything around us from our own unique perspective, and we get lost in that excitement. Now, like I said before, this is a good thing. We need to shoot a lot of different things to find what we're drawn to, but we have to pay attention to what we enjoy shooting the most and lean into that. We've all heard the term jack of all trades, master of none. Now, I'm not saying you can't shoot other stuff outside of your niche too. Shoot whatever you want. It's a camera, that's what they're for. But when you focus on one specific category, that's when you really start to develop your own unique style in that niche. That's how you find your distinctive flair that sets you apart from others. Tip #3. Now, this one is geared more towards people who like to do photography of people, lifestyle, editorial, portraiture, that kind of thing. And for those of you who like to create big collaborative concepts, I think this one is a must. Work with other creatives. Photography by its nature can be a solitary process. Oftentimes when we are in the planning stages, when we're shooting, when we cull and edit our photos, we're alone. For introverts like myself, this is honestly very appealing, but when you like to shoot creative concepts and large projects, working with others will take your work to the next level. Working with friends like Andy here allows me to create shots I wouldn't have been able to do on my own. I can't paint somebody's body like he can, and he can't take portraits like I can. And it doesn't have to be with super artsy stuff like this either. Having a makeup artist, hairstylist, wardrobe designer, and so on collaborate on a project with you can help create something far bigger and better. They all specialize in what they do, leaving you free to direct your full attention to specialize in what you do. I cannot stress enough how much better your portraits, lifestyle, editorial shots will be when you collaborate with other artists. Tip number 4, comparison is the thief of joy. Usually. In the age of social media, I hope that this is a term that most of us have heard before, but it's an important one to cover nonetheless. I actually both agree and disagree with this statement, and I'll elaborate on why I say it's usually the thief of joy. It's so easy to scroll social media and see how other people's lives seem better than our own. To look at the super cool things others are doing and ask ourselves, why is my life not this fun? To compare our work with the work of others and see this immense divide in the quality and get down on ourselves and allow our inner voice to tell us that we suck, that we will never be that good, that we can't compete. This is when we allow comparison to slither into our conscious mind and leech the joy from our lives. But allow me to propose a different perspective from which to compare ourselves and our work. Comparison can sometimes be a good thing when it's done through the lens of acceptance and understanding. When it comes to social media, what do you usually post? Do you share your struggles, your failures, your periods of depression? Or do you share your successes, the happy moments, the fun things you're doing? Everyone posts the happy times, and if we're comparing ourselves and our art to others online, we're not getting the full picture. Everyone has problems, everyone feels inadequate at times. Every artist creates art that they think sucks. If we keep this understanding in mind, we can view the art and triumphs of others and not feel self-loathing, but instead feel happy for them because we know how much these happy moments mean to us. When we compare our art to those we admire, it's easy to see how much better they are and tell ourselves we'll never be that good. But through a lens of understanding and acceptance, we might be able to say, yeah, their art is so much better than mine, but they've also been at this for 20 years, whereas I've only been doing this for 5. When we compare our work to the work of those we look up to, and we can accept that where we are in our journey right now is okay, and accept that we're still growing and learning, then this comparison can shift from being detrimental to being really inspirational. Instead of looking at this art and saying, damn, they're so much better than me, we can look at it and say, damn, I can't wait till I'm that good. Which brings me to my 5th and final piece of advice. And if you made it this far, I'm really glad, because this is truly the most important one to keep in mind for anybody who's working towards any kind of goal. You need to be your #1 fan. No matter what we're working towards, be it an artistic goal, a physical one, an entrepreneurial endeavor, or a skill we are developing, there will be countless failures and setbacks along the way. Everyone who is on a journey of self-improvement will be knocked down again and again and again. And it's hard sometimes to share these moments with people we trust, or maybe we don't have anybody we can talk to about it. Which is why I believe it's so important to be an absolute lunatic fan of yourself. Consider this: if you're a big fan of an athlete, a musician, anyone that inspires you, or think of your sibling or a partner or a family member or a best friend, anyone you have an unrelenting, overflowing abundance of love for. Now imagine that that person spoke about themselves in the same way that your negative inner voice sometimes speaks to you. What if they told you that they feel like they aren't enough, that they aren't improving, that they're a failure? You would immediately begin encouraging them, telling them that it's just a setback, to keep going, that they're not a failure, that they're more than enough. So why would you not talk to yourself like that when your own negative inner voice starts tearing you down? And if you're anything like me or the majority of other creatives out there, it will. A lot. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope that at least one of these tips helped you out, and if not, that I at least entertained you with some B-roll and nice music for a little while. I value your time, and I'm grateful that you watch these, so I try to make these videos the best that I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video with your friends, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go start working on my next video, and I hope that each and every one of you has a really great week. And remember to be your #1 fan, because life gets tough, and pursuing any kind of goal or self-improvement can be a very difficult and lonely process. Anyways, keep on creating, and I'll see you guys next time. Hard cut.